Back in the mid-90s, when I was glued to my Amiga and juggling everything from frantic shoot-em-ups to bizarre puzzle games, Team 17 decided to take a swing at something a little different. Enter Kingpin, their 10-pin bowling simulation. A curious mashup of arcade sensibility and a surprisingly detailed approach to a sport I'd always associated with oversized shoes and the faint smell of polish. Coming hot on the heels of Arcade Pool, Team 17 seemed determined to show that even the quietest pastimes could translate into a respectable computer game. For a kid like me who had never even seen a proper bowling alley here in the UK, this felt like discovering a secret amusement tucked right into my bedroom. First off, you pick your player's gender, outfit and handedness. Grab a ball weighing between 8 and 16 pounds and step up to a virtual lane. Then it's a delicate ballet of power, aim and aftertouch as the arrow sweeps across the alley and you try to deliver the perfect ball. There's a pleasing rhythm to the 10 frames of play, each spur and strike feeling like a little victory, and the game even pokes at realism with subtly waxed lanes that make the balls curve unpredictably, enough to make you feel like a proper bowler without actually bruising anything.
Will the party from Team 17 please report to the reception desk?
On the CD32, the control pad made these adjustments buttery smooth compared to the joystick, I suppose, letting you concentrate on hitting pins instead of wrestling with your old zipstick you still had from the Commodore 64 days. Visually, Kingpin was never about jaw-dropping spectacle. The lanes were tidy but unpretentious, the player animation simple but functional, and the pins toppled believably when struck. Little touches like the pin resetting mechanism and the scoreboard displays added a sense of authenticity that kept me invested, even if the graphics weren't the kind to make anyone gasp. The music? Well, it was minimalistic, but the sampled sound effects more than made up for it. The satisfying crash of pins, the whoosh of a rolling ball, the occasional voiceover or applause, it all combined to make the game feel like a tiny bowling hole living in my bedroom.
Mr. Dyson to reception, please.
Where Kingpin truly shone was in its options rather than its visuals. Single, pairs and trio modes catered to different numbers of players, while the Arcade Spurs challenge forced you to tackle awkward splits with a single shot. You could fiddle with your opponent's stats, log your own scores and stash custom players and high scores on disk like you were running a slightly obsessive bowling league from your own bedroom. The replay feature let you relive strikes and spurs in slow motion, turning even the scrappiest shot into something that looked far more impressive than it had any right to. Of course, bowling isn't inherently thrilling when compared to a scrolling shooter or platformer, and even I have to admit the appeal could wane off after a few solo games. The AI was competent but predictable, often knocking down strikes with maddening consistency. But throw a couple of friends into the mix, maybe a bottle of fizzy pop or two, or maybe a few beers these days, and suddenly it wasn't about the spectacle. It was about shared laughter, friendly rivalry, and the quiet satisfaction of rolling a perfect strike. That's when the game really came alive, more about camaraderie than eye-popping graphics. Looking back, Kingpin has a charm rooted in its understated ambition. It never really needed flashy visuals or a pounding soundtrack, because it never pretended to be more than a faithful recreation of a bowling alley.
I'm slamming him tonight.
For a few quid or a good friend with X-Copy, I could immerse myself in detailed yet intuitive gameplay, experience with strategies, and fret over those waxed lanes as if my entire career depended on it. It may not have been the longest lasting title on the Amiga, but it stood out for its meticulous attention to detail and the simple satisfaction of translating a quiet, oddly meditative sport into a computer game that genuinely worked. In retrospect, Team 17's gamble paid off beautifully. Kingpin isn't just a 10-pin simulator, it's a snapshot of a particular moment in Amiga history, when developers could take something ordinary and, with a dash of creativity and a sparkle of wit, turn it into something engaging and, occasionally, surprisingly fun. It was never going to change the world, but for a kid who just wanted to send pins flying without leaving the sofa, it was unforgettable. Get it fired up and give it a whirl. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to let us know what you thought of Kingpin in the comments section. As always, your continued support is massively appreciated, so hit that subscribe for more content just like this. Check out the various playlists on the channel for more Commodore titles, and maybe stick around, as there's another one coming up right now. Hopefully. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, bye for now.